Little fall A-rig chunk. Feeding up before the winter.
Hey folks, I'm in Sandston, Virginia with Kevin Brooke, and we're gonna go fishing tomorrow on Dyson.
Yep. In the rain.
So let's do a little walkthrough of your rig, and then we'll talk a little bit about electric only fishing in Virginia.
And it's just a 1648 Alumacraft, flat bottom. I think they call it FT now. Got a 112 Ultrex on the front and a 2.0 Torpedo on the back. Torpedo 24. Oh, 106 battery. 104.
Yep. So you get that charging up.
She's gonna run probably 6'2", 6'4", which ain't bad for a fully rigged up 16-foot boat. It's heavy. Our club has a 36 volt limit for any one motor, so we got to stick with the 2.0, which is trying to keep it fair and not so everybody's dumping $30,000 into an electric boat. And it's a working man series.
And that's had a good impact on the number of people.
We've grown. From when I first started in it, was a group called Little Creek Anglers, and we were excited to get 10 boats back in probably late 90s, early 2000s. And up until COVID this year, we were hitting 43, 44 boats, 300 and something members. Good friends of mine actually live right there through the woods, run the series, Rippin Lips Open series.
Right.
And they're on Facebook, and they got, I think it's Rippin, electricbassfishing.com is their website. So
cool.
And they've grown it big, and we were looking at averaging 50 boats this year before the whole COVID. I mean, our first tournament had horrible weather, and I think we had 45 or 46 boats.
You got a couple trophies here on the plaques on the wall. You want to show me a couple
over
of
there?
them?
There's the one from this year, which is where you come down.
Yep.
And first met you. We fished the Rippin Lips series, me and my partner Frank, for 4 years full time with them, full schedules, and we won 3 out of the 4 of their classics and was second last year, the one we didn't win.
Right.
I think together we've won 7 total classics or 6 total with different groups.
That's a lot of wins, man. Well, I'm looking forward to getting out with you in the morning.
We'll have fun.
We'll see what we get into. It'll be first day in November. And what kind of patterns do you think we'll get into?
We'll be chasing shad.
Yeah.
Chasing a lot of shad, bait fish, looking for schoolers.
Cool.
We might go hours without catching one, then we'll catch 50. And
right.
You just got to find them.
All right.
That's going to be the hardest part.
Cool. Well, we'll get a good night's rest and get out there early and get on them.
All right, bring your rain gear.
Yep.
Hey, everybody. All right, finally got to the ramp at Dyson's. This is one of 6 reservoirs that we fish regularly. This is probably one of the more popular ones. It's the biggest one. And it has the smallest parking lot. All of them, shockingly enough. But it's got a real good population of 2.5 to 3.5 pound fish. Bigger fish are hard to come by. Anything over 5 is a unicorn, it seems like most days, and definitely money in tournaments. But it's probably got the highest population of fish we have. And it's got spotted bass that showed up about 8-10 years ago. Somehow they found their way from Alabama here because the game commission has traced them all the way back to being Coosa spots. So, they won't recognize them for state records, is what they tell us. So let's go ahead and have fun. They're probably the meanest fish alive. Being it's fall, and we just had a tournament last week and we're preparing for that. Everything we found is way up lake. So we're going to probably make probably a 2-mile ride at first. And you can actually go 4.5 to almost 5 miles. I guess that's northwest. And you can go another 1.5 miles, 2 miles that way. It's a long riverine lake. And it's almost like 2 or 3 lakes in one. There's a lot of grass. You can do all the offshore open water fishing you want right here. I mean, there's humps and points, there's old road beds. Or if you go up lake, there's stump fields, lily pads, grass. A lot of grass, stump fields back the other end of both ends of the lake. Not a lot of creek arms. Like I said, it's more of a riverine type setup, long and narrow. We should see some schooling fish. It's got a ton of gizzard shad and threadfins, some blueback herring, not many, thank God. Come on up here. We get more speed out of these planing holes with weight up front. Like running 610 with you in the back.
Yeah, battery percentage, remaining range, speed, we're doing 6.2, and that's our watt draw.
Just got to lower down. We've had days where we couldn't get under the bridge.
Just when it's higher water?
Yeah. Right now the lake's about normal pool. It spent a few years ago, for about 2 years, it was 6 and 8 foot down, which is a fairly shallow lake. It's probably average depth, probably 8 to 10 feet, 12 foot. So, 2 years ago, this was mostly dry, or a lot of dry land.
You got one?
Yeah. There's a spot.
So that's on the
chandelier.
So that's
There's a
Alabama spotted bass in Virginia.
come a long ways.
Yeah. You caught a flight from Birmingham to Richmond, right?
Yeah.
Nice
Reading,
fish,
writing, and
man.
the road to Richmond.
So tell me about the rod reel combo you're using to
This
fish
one-
the Alabama rig.
I'm throwing this one on a Cashin. F90676. It's a 7.6 heavy.
Okay.
It's throwing a 20-pound fluorocarbon with an old Quantum. All my reels are old Quantum Energies, all metal reels.
Yeah.
And some of the best reels I think they've ever made.
And this A rig is
It's a Flash Mob Junior. They by Yum.
okay. You have to.
This is a stable in this boat between me and my partner. It's kind of a laugh amongst everybody. This is our worm bags.
Right.
And green top tackle bags. And
It's your tackle organization system.
that's it. We gave up on buying stuff. We just keep it in the green top bags.
Nice.
Yeah, here, from about here back, another couple miles to the upper end of the lake. It's either World War I or World War II. They sawed all the cypress. This used to be nothing but a big cypress swamp back then. And so from here back, there's nothing but cypress stumps from, a foot to 5 foot tall. If you look up them woods, it looks like that. Imagine cutting all them trees off. And they made them, or cut them for the aircraft carrier decks in World War I, World War II. And they cut them out of cypress. And actually, once you get back here, you can see some of them. The black ones are cypress trees, and the white ones are old oak trees. But it's 500 acres of cypress stumps. You can't see them until you get way back. But there's one right there that got hung up on. And this is what they call the mill pond, end of the lake. It actually used to be an old sawmill where they sawed them out. And they used to send them down to the Chickahominy River before they actually built the big dam for Dyson's. And sent them on down to Norfolk for the shipyard, for the war effort. Alright, let's put that motor down. We're gonna get out of here. We're done dragging deep. Go back here and chase some shallow fish. Take a long run up lake.
Switch to soft plastic in the grass. I got the Z-Man grass kickers on a Chinlocks hook. That was good for nice largemouth here. I liked throwing the pearl color because I can actually track it. It's just nice to be able to see where your bait is and see when it flashes on it. And with the Chinlocks, just keeps it nice and straight. Nice chunky largemouth. Okay, get this nice one back in there. Get back to his grass. What'd you get him on?
Pinko.
Nice. So, look at me. You're chewing.
Mm-hmm.
They're chewing.
Eating some of Jeff's jerky.
Nice.
Skinny one.
Yep.
Why, they were starving to death. There you go. We just got dumped on for about an hour. Cold rain, wind, and now finally we're going to get some sunlight. Maybe these fish will turn back on. It's this late. For whatever reason, we have always struggled when it's cloudy. I mean, figure 2 weeks ago, we were pre-fishing for a tournament last week, and we were catching 18 to 20 pounds. Fairly easy. And then come tournament time, the front come in and it got rainy and cloudy, and we struggled to catch 15. But, it's just always been that case for us on this lake. And just about everybody, it does not fish well when it's cloudy. Just the opposite of almost every other lake we fish. So I'm hoping this sun will come out, and it's sunny and rainy right now, so as odd as that is. We'll turn these things back on because I don't think we've caught but 3 bass and missed a couple at this point. Another spot.
Nice.
The A-rig that everybody's got such a problem with. Just put these fall transition fish, gave us a way to catch them. And the spot seemed to like it. This ain't nothing but little swimming piranhas. Yeah. Knucklehead.
So I know that Kevin has owned a regular fiberglass bass boat in the past and done some tournament fishing in that world. I wanted to ask you, the difference between electric only tournaments, electric only fishing, and when you ran a regular bass boat. What's the difference in those two worlds in terms of the competition and the different fisheries?
We got probably as much competition and just as good as anybody in a bass boat does. It's just a lot of it's cost, and a lot of it's not wanting to deal with any big water stuff. Jet skis, water skis, fishing pressure, boat pressure. Like I said, cost. You can set up a top-end electric boat for $10,000, $12,000 brand new, where a new bass boat costs you $50,000 to $80,000, $100,000, whatever you want to put into it. In our area, we don't have a whole lot within an hour as far as bass fishing, unless you want to be a river rat and run around on the James and the Chick, the Monkey Rivers. If you want to fish lakes, you're going to drive an hour and a half, 2 hours up the road to Bugs Island, Lake Anna, Smith Mountain. And you got hotel rooms and fuel expenses. I got rid of mine when I started having kids for obvious reasons and got into this, but I've got all these lakes that are having tournaments. Within 30 minutes, 45 minutes of my house. And I could take this out on the river if I wanted to and run it around. But I'm not going to make a long run, from one landing down to the next river in 45 miles. But I can go putt around the river. But our competition is just as serious as any other tour you want to fish against in the state. I wouldn't slow down for 1 minute taking our top 5 teams and putting them against anybody else's 5 teams. We've done it, amongst the John boat world. For a long time, we've been kind of looked at as bubbles, I guess, because we're in John boat. Until they start realizing the money and the competition, how serious some of us are. So even with the torpedo, I get stopped constantly. People asking at gas stations what kind of motor that, and I start telling them what we do, and everybody's like, oh, they had no idea that there was actually tournaments and reservoirs. And I tell them, we're running 300 members and over 40 boats. They can't believe it. But it's growing. Hopefully we can get a collective voice sometime in the future and have national tournaments, regional tournaments, and get some money involved in it and get some exposure for everybody. Because I know there's good anglers in every state running electric boats. So you're up there in Maryland, where you're from, you got your guys up there. I've heard about them for years.
Got him?
Oh, you got him or you got me?
It's a nice one.
After. Told you. Sun.
Yeah.
This lake does not do well in clouds.
Nice one, man.
This little fall A-rig chunk. Feeding up before the winter. Get it on. That's what I was just talking about when you hook him with more than one and parachute him. He feels like about 8-pound fish. He's probably another 3-pounder. If that. Yeah.
Nice, man.
You said they're starting to get their bellies.
Yep.
Feeding up for winter.
All right, well, we've run out of daylight with first day of the time change. Unfortunately, it's a little bit, 5:30 or so?
And it's dark.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
No, me neither. But had a good day out here on Dyson. Kevin, if you could just let folks know how, if they want to get into doing the electric only fishing here in Virginia.
You can go to Facebook and look up Rippin Lips Open Series, and they actually have a website too. It's electricbassfishing.com, and it's Jason and Melissa Cusick are the two to run it. And we'll be glad to have anybody that wants to get involved in it. You don't have to have a fast boat with us. Some of our top teams are running 3 miles an hour in old bass boats, and we got all types. So it's fun. It's definitely a lot more relaxing than the big bass boat tournaments where you're constantly going. But it's definitely good, especially anybody new that wants to get into tournament fishing without dumping in $100,000.
Nice. I appreciate you taking me today, man.
All right, ain't no problem.